On October 3, 1955, a CIA agent with the codename Wwii wrote a secret report. Wwii, whose real name was David Brixner, was assigned to South American operations, and the document was to inform his superiors of the possible presence of a Nazi war criminal in Colombia. His name, Adolf Hitler. During the previous days, Brixner got in contact with an old friend who lived in Maracaibo, Venezuela. The friend, whose identity is unknown, told Brixner that an acquaintance of him kept close contact with the Führer. This man was Philip Citroën, an ex-officer of the SS who frequently traveled between Venezuela and Colombia at the time. On September 28, Brixner told his friend to ask Citroën for evidence, and the next day received a photograph. The photograph shows two men sitting against a wall. One man is Citroën, the other looks like Adolf Hitler. The back of the photograph had a handwritten inscription that read, Adolf Schrittelmayer, Tunga, Colombia, South America, 1954. Abel Busti, an Argentinian journalist, believes in the authenticity of the photograph. In his book, Los Secretos de Hitler, he describes how Hitler arrived in Colombia in 1954. Busti explains that Germany and the Allies made a pact before the fall of Berlin. This meant that all the capital, scientific and industrial knowledge would pass to the Allies in exchange for protection for the Nazi elite after the war. Neither the Allies nor Nazi Germany wanted these assets to be in Russian hands. According to Eric Fertini, another authority on the topic, British leader Winston Churchill sent British historian Hugh Trevor Roper to Berlin to elaborate on the official version of the last hours of Hitler. In this version, the Führer committed suicide with a shot to the head, while his wife, Eva Braun, took his own life drinking cyanide. But Trevor Roper didn't interview the people who were in the bunker during Hitler's last days. He mentioned visiting the bunker in September 1945, but by that time it was destroyed and submerged in water. Another Trevor Roper source, Erich Kempka, Hitler's chauffeur, changed his version of the story at least 3 times. In his final version, he put himself outside the bunker so he couldn't be sure if Hitler died or not that night. Fertini believes that Hitler and Eva Braun left Berlin on a plane piloted by Hanna Reich, awarded pilot of the Luftwaffe. Reich took them to Magdeburg, where they took another plane. The pilot of this plane was Erich Baumgart, who affirmed he left the couple in Tonder, Denmark. There isn't information about flights after this place, although Hitler's presence in Denmark was confirmed in interrogatories to SS officials. There is a report of a flight from Austria to Barcelona dated April 20, 10 days before Hitler's suicide. The list of passengers included Hitler and his wife. This report was signed by Heinrich Müller, leader of the Gestapo. Fertini concedes that Hitler and Braun could have landed in Spain after that date. However, he doesn't think they stayed for a long time. It was not safe enough, no matter the protection of Francisco Franco, Spain's fascist dictator at the time. Juan Salinas and Carlos D. Napoli, 2 Argentinian journalists, reveal the existence of a secret Nazi operation, codename Ultramar Sur. The operation involved the use of submarines for the escape of the most important Nazi officials during April 1945. This operation coincides with the discovery of 2 German submarines near the Atlantic coast of Argentina. The U-530 and the U-977. The first one was captured by the Argentinian Navy on July 10, 1945. The U-530 had a crew of 25 Marines. Her captain was Otto Wermuth, who was 25 years old. Argentina handed the ship and her crew to the USA. There is no information about the ship's mission because all documents related are classified. But there was one detail that got to the public: one of the submarine's rubber rafts was missing. After a few days, it was found in Necochea, a beach south of Buenos Aires. It was presumed that Hitler and Braun used it to get to land. On August 17, the U-977 was captured. Human footprints were found on the beach the ship was seen the night before. Her captain Heinz Schaefer couldn't explain that and the fact that the crew was short for 16 persons. An investigation by local police revealed that the footprints led to a ranch owned by German immigrants, but the government ordered the investigation to cease. When the U-977 was handed to the Americans, the crew was accused of helping with the escape of war criminals. But by 1947 all of the accused were free to return to Germany. Just like the U-530, all information related to the incident is classified. According to Busty, Hitler arrived in Colombia from Peru in 1954. He was taken to the province of Tunga, 130 kilometers from the country's capital. He lived in a hotel called Colonial Residence, owned by a German immigrant. The Colombian president at the time and the US Embassy were aware of the situation. Hitler lived in Colombia for a year and then went to an unknown location. It seems he never settled down and continued traveling through South America for the rest of his life. Busty quote a Brazilian whose father was a Nazi official. The man swears that Hitler died of natural causes in 1971 and was buried in a secret bunker in Paraguay. What do you think? Put your opinion in the comments below and subscribe.